Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy XIV. Last time we left off, we had just done another dungeon, and seems like Thubnair is going through the apocalypse, according to our weather does. So let's go ahead and continue on. Our Radiant host has eliminated the immediate threat to the city, but it pains me to know these beasts were once my own people. There's no telling when or where the next transformation might occur. We must remain vigilant and steel ourselves for whatever's yet to come. Don't know why I got die for reward this time. We actually got a lot of experience from that dungeon, because we're already 2/3 of the way through level 86. We weren't even level 86 when we entered that dungeon. Forgive me, my friends, but I must return to Megaduda for the time being. There I can better manage this crisis and dispatch my troops as the situation demands. In that case, we shall carry out an investigation of our own here in the city. Yep, the residents can tell us more about the first of the transformations and the conditions under which it occurred. If we can ascertain what exactly triggered these tragic events, it may give us some insight as to possible solution. Time is of the essence. Let us split up into 3 groups so we may cover more ground. Elisei and I will see to Pasca's path. Duncan and Shistola pray make for Dharma. I'll leave Arthur to Graha and you, Naren. Any information gathered on the first blasphemy of the manifestation of the final days here in the city would be most helpful. When we have completed our respective inquiries, let us reconvene in front of Megaduda, that we may share what we've learned with the satrap. Shall we be off then? Arthur is home to the High Crucible of Alchemia, whose alchemists forge many of our warning scales. That seems as good a place as any to begin our investigation, don't you think? I spoke briefly with Nahadin, the chief alchemist there, on our last visit. He should be happy to answer our inquiries. This place is a bit of a maze, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to traverse, I bet. Take a look at the map. Okay, that's not too bad, I guess. Can we use the Aetheryte yet? It's disabled still. Okay. And that does look like a pretty decent furnace there. Probably can do all sorts of alchemy with that. Look at that, it's pretty neat. I remember those red eyes. You were with the Scions who commissioned the scales from us, yes? Well, welcome back to the High Crucible. What brings you here in these troubling times? We assisted the satrap in investigating the crisis that plagues the city. Did you happen to catch sight of any of the creatures? I did. As I was going about my work, I was disturbed by crashing footsteps so powerful that the very ground shook. Rushed outside and could not believe what I beheld. The night sky was burning. Suddenly I heard panic screams coming from the direction of Balshan Bazaar. Next instant, a monstrous beast poked its head out of the stalls. A handful of the Radiant rushed to the scene, only to be sent sprawling as the Fiend and its minions propelled themselves skyward. So the blasphemy came from the vicinity of the markets. This knowledge may prove useful. I thank you for sharing your tale. I do believe we know now where we inquire next. To the bazaar, then. Worth a look, I think. From what I can tell, it looks like there should be a pathway like right over here. Guess it's this one. Sisters have mercy. What is happening to the world? What am I to do? Is nowhere safe? Slow down, Fred. The danger is past, at least for now. If it's not too painful to remember, could you tell us what you saw? First I heard the screams, then a horde of ravenous beasts came charging towards us. One of them was huge, bigger than a Marad, throwing people around like ragdolls, and it was eating them. I hid under the counter, saw others do the same. But the shrieking and wailing kept getting louder, more voices in the throng. Beasts or victims, I couldn't tell. I knew not what was happening, I still don't. That is enough, my good man. You were brave to share us of your tale. Many of your fellow merchants are safe. The High Crucible, too, has survived mostly unscathed. Pray stay close to your friends and loved ones, and the rest of your body and mind while you're able. Something the matter, traveler. If you're lost, perhaps I could be of assistance. Your offer is most appreciated. We are not lost, but we are in need of information. Let you know anything about the gargantuan beast that rampaged through the bazaar. I saw it all, though I wished I had not. I was going about my work when all of a sudden a piercing scream cut through the air. I turned around, there was a fiend. Its massive body bursting through the entryway with the force of a tidal wave, and then it was gone as quickly as it came. Guessing the third one's probably out this way somewhere, I'm assuming. Yep, there they are. Oh, there's a circle here. So this is the Vanvarian weave. I must say it bears a resemblance to the traditional fabrics of Corvos. Small wonder, really, given that's just across the water. Not that I'm much of an expert in Corvosi culture, of course. I've not had a vacation to visit my ancestral home since coming to Charlian. Like as not, I will never reside there again. That said, in recent days I felt more acutely aware of my heritage, and grateful for it. It's thanks to my forebears that I inherited the royal eye, and with it the wisdom of ancient Alag. And so, well, I simply hope that my countrymen are safe, and one day, when this calamity is but a memory, I would like to see Corvos again, if only once. Forgive me, but my shop's closed until further notice. Needless to say, we have more pressing concerns these days. We have not come in search of wares, but information concerning the enormous fiend that tore through the bazaar. Do you perchance witness anything? Afraid not, my friend. I was here the whole time, so I only saw its little minions. Made a mess of the place, they did. While that was going on, the great big one tore through the west side of the bazaar. You'd have better luck asking there. Yeah, we just came from there. And with that, I do believe we've learned all we can from the bazaar. Let's take a moment to review our findings. Judging by the accounts, the transformation had already occurred by the time the beast reached the bazaar. Tore through the west side of the bazaar and headed towards the Aetheryte Plaza. In other words, the blasphemy may first appear in this vicinity. That being the case, the people in that Mayhem can surely tell us more. Alright, guess we're heading back this way. Probably haven't gotten this shard yet, so let's go and see. Yep, tuning to it. Going after that Norse beast, are you? I saw it, including the very instant that poor bastard transformed. Damn the gods for putting me there. It's right over there by the window. A few men, merchants probably, talking and drinking. Conversation must have taken a turn for the worse. Next thing I know, their leader, I suppose he was, buries his head in his hands, and black mist was swirling about him. Then his whole body burst apart, and there stands a hideous slavering beast, massive and foul, gaping mauls and bulging eyes. His friends start shrieking, then the black mist comes again, until the change takes them too, the stuff of nightmares, I tell you. Nightmarish indeed. Instantly, do you perchance know who those merchants were? No, I'm a decorator by trade, not much does it cost to mingle with their sort. Saw me heal the barmaid chatting with them, though. She might know something. Even after repairing all that damage, take a while for business to pick up again. I mean, the blasphemy. That's what the Radiant have been calling it, anyway. I saw it too, we all did. I was standing here at the counter as Mariah poured me a drink, and when suddenly there came this dreadful sound like a pained, angry moan. It wasn't like anything I ever heard. I turned around in shock, and from an ominous cloud of black mist rose the creature, ominous and ghastly to behold. As for what happened next, I recall it sent shivers up my spine. By some stroke of fortune, I was able to slip outside before the beast god's claws on me. But the sight that greeted me offered no solace. The blue sky had turned red as blood. Mariah, myself, and the other survivors clung to each other for dear life until the Radiant host came to our aid. Wait, did I hear that correctly? The beast manifested before the sky began to burn. I'm certain of it. The windows here offer a clear view of the sky, and I saw nothing out of the ordinary until the beast appeared and began to rage. That's curious. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Morhai's Mainhain. What can we get you? We have not come for libations, but rather for information. You are Michiel, yes? We're investigating the so-called blasphemy on the satrap's behalf. We hear it was one of your customers, a merchant, that first underwent the transformation. What can you tell us about him? He was something of a regular here, especially of late. Khazal was his name. He ran his own consortium, dealing primarily in the exports of them-varying specialties. Through him we met Matsia. Yes, the name rings a bell. Didn't you meet them both on your first trip to Thavnair? If I recall correctly, Khazal ran a trading operation in Yudamad, and it was there that you met Matsia's acquaintance. Yes, that is the same Khazal, no doubt. A rather successful man from what I gather. That said, it was clear that he had fallen on hard times of late. Those ghastly towers popping up everywhere cannot have been good for business. Even now, with the towers gone, the collapse of the Empire has led to all sorts of problems elsewhere. The market for luxuries is surely not what it once was. Trying times for the head of a trading consortium, indeed. Khazal was a compassionate man. Even as his own business suffered, he did what he could to provide for the artisans, fishermen, and many others who counted on him to sell their wares. Indeed, that was the very topic of yesterday's meeting, as far as I could hear. And as they discussed matters further, Khazal's turn grew grave and grim. It was then that... Forgive me, I would not have you recall the memory if it brings you pain. If I could, I would ask just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual about Khazal in particular? Please, anything at all. Sorry, nothing springs to mind. Perhaps someone else can help you. Khazal lived for his work and had no family I know of. His employees and associates knew him best, but they too were lost to us. Still, perhaps his neighbors know something I do not. I can direct you to them, if you believe it would help. Would you say? Alright. So it was Khazal that turned into the blasphemy that we fought. I'm starting to get a clue of what I think may have tipped them off. I think maybe the transformation might have something to do with when somebody feels like true despair or something along those lines, and it would actually make sense with some of the other things we saw. Like that parent elephant that transformed right in the middle of what I assume were their children after feeling great despair, and then the children end up feeling great despair seeing their parent turn into that, and then they turned into things themselves. So I think I'm kind of on the right track there. Khazal made his home in Kama, a nearby residential area. From what I gather, Khazal lived there since childhood and was known throughout the neighborhood. Kama, the name is new to me. How do we get there? I'll write down some directions. Can I promise that you'll find what you seek there, but if nothing else, it's a start. Come, let's see where this lead takes us. It is indeed a bit of a ways away. Let's see, after leaving the Mayhain, we'll retrace our steps and head back towards the Aetheryte Plaza. Okay. Another blue circle over here for the directions. From here we ascend the stairs. Alright. Stairs are right there, I guess. Yeah, this must be huge, in which case we should take the path leading southeast. Southeast is that way. Maybe it's fun to take directions instead of just relying on the map sometimes, I guess. Keep going this way, we should arrive in Kama before long. Walking these unfamiliar streets is quite the adventure, is it not? I can only hope we've explored routes ahead at leisure once this crisis has passed. Ah, we made it. This is supposed to be Kama. We've arrived at last. Let's begin questioning the residents without delay. No doubt someone here can tell us more about Kazal. Given recent events, I imagine many are taking shelter indoors. Let's grab this Ethernet shard before anything else. Kazal, you say? Yes, I've known him since he was a boy. There was ever a man who was born to be a merchant, it was him. Always early to depart and late to return, he'd spend his days procuring the finest wares and seeking out willing customers. He'd say it came to him as easily as breathing. Sadly, his business was flagging of late, no surprise really, what with how dangerous travel had become. He was cooped up in his house from dawn to dusk the other day, no doubt racking his brain for a way to turn his fortunes around. Then at night I heard the door open. I looked out to see Kazal sitting on a bench, his head hung low, a man with the weight of the world on his shoulders. I see, the situation must have been quite dire indeed. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary? Nothing to speak of, other than the troubles of his consortium. He was the same old Kazal. Cordial and honest, like always. These questions you were asking, has something happened to him? He wasn't caught up in a terrible incident at the bazaar, was he? I don't travel much these days, but my daughters told me not to venture outside. Stuck in here as I am, I've heard little about what the bazaar going-ons. Rest assured, the city is safe for now, but the situation may change without warning. I urge you, stay close to your daughter and be prepared to take refuge should the satrap order it. Guess we'll head in here and see what we find. Could you come back another time? I just woke up. I'm not exactly in the mood for idle chit-chat. Well, that's one way to avoid the panic, I suppose. Pardon our intrusion, you may have not noticed, but a great danger has come to Tavern there. I encourage you to stay alert and prepare to flee the city should the situation turn dire. Before we leave in peace, pray allow us to ask a question or two. Did you know a local merchant by the name of Kazal? If so, did you notice anything unusual about him recently? Kazal, I knew him. In fact, we just spoke the other day. Like many others, his business was doing poorly. Still, it seemed as though he managed to turn things around thanks to a generous order from Ravida Fibers, while he was practically dancing in the streets. I haven't spoken with him since, but I assume it all went well. Dinjan Baha might be able to tell you more, though. As I recall, he was the one who brokered the arrangement. Dinjan Baha Ravador Fibers, that sounds promising. So we head down this way. How far are we going? Decently far. It's nice playing detective every once in a while, right? assuming we have these stairs, right? If I'm not mistaken, these stairs lead to Dhamma. It's quite the sight. In the final days of yore, the heavens burned and the stars fell. Creation magics run amok. That was my assumption when I saw Amrat. Perhaps the ancients believed the same, that the terror of a single powerful individual was the cause of their calamity. And yet those same horrors now manifest themselves before our eyes. What could it be that sets the heavens aflame and turns ordinary men into beasts? Good question. We got one spot down this way that we have to get to. The fiber spot has a Ethernet shard out. They're farming silkworms. This must be Rupidah fibers. Where we should find Dinjabaha. Okay. Oh, okay, the fiber spot was the one we just got. And hurry, I say. There's no time to waste. Pardon me, but are you in charge of buying and selling here, yes? We have a few questions that we'd like to. I'm sorry, but I simply don't have time to chat. If you haven't noticed, we have our hands full at the moment. We must carry all of our wares and equipment safely before this accursed beast return. In that case, might we be of assistance? Perhaps we could speak while the job is done. Very well. You can start by helping us move our equipment. Ask the others what to put where. And you can carry our fabrics. Go through the door and speak of Kamila. She'll tell you the rest. Remember, these textiles are our livelihood. Handle them with care. This area is for employees only. Get out. What's that? You've come to help. Oh, praise be to Daruva. Kind stranger, I welcome your assistance. On your way here, you passed 3 storehouses, yes? I have to carry that small crate to Nafrithal by the storehouse near the hatchery. The crate of clothing is for Manuha. That massive crate goes to Zebmari by the middle storehouse. Watch your back with that one. Those are all the crates we have ready. When they've been delivered, consider your work here complete. Oh, we have limited time for this. Okay. Right, is it? Then you've come to the right place. We thank you for your aid. One's finished. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be less time each time, I'm assuming. If you have any crates of finished projects such as carpets, clothing, and the like, pray bring them here to our primary storehouse. Crate full of clothing in it, now take it off your hands. Many thanks for the delivery. Alright, had a little bit of a recording issue there, but gonna pick up the last weighty crate now. Let's go ahead and do it. Assuming this one's gonna have like a 30-second timer or something. But not too far off of that. Say, you're quite the brawny one, aren't you? Good thing that you never know when you'll need to defend yourself in these unparticular times. Grateful fabrics, is it? Well, exactly what I was hoping to receive. Here, let me put that away for you. And finished. Nice. You've carried all the crates to the storehouse, as you say, and so quickly, too. I've never seen someone so strong. And I and my associates will see to the rest, so please return to Dinjin Baha and assure him our work is proceeding apace. To tell you the truth, we're grateful for this distraction. Too many terrible things of late. But generous souls like yourself give me hope that we may emerge from this trial even stronger. I pray we meet again in more peaceful times. Done as I asked, have you? If Kyle is satisfied with your work, then so am I. You have done us a great favor, traveler. I too have delivered the instruments and apparatus entrusted to me. You both have my thanks. With our wares safely stored away, we're not losing any more to those fiends. I take it that your establishment did not escape the attack unscathed. We did not. Thankfully, most of our workers had already left for the day, but those of us still here saw it all. We looked to the burning skies in confusion, then before we could even begin to make sense of it, a hideous creature burst through the doors, shrieking. We ran for our lives, but one of my colleagues was not so fortunate. He cried out, a scream of such agony, such terror, and in the next instant he too sprouted fearsome claws. The sight of it caused another fellow to panic, and then he too just transformed. I'm sorry, there was something you wanted to ask? Indeed, you knew the merchant Kazal, did you not? I believe he had some dealings with your establishment? Kazal, I know him well. We arranged for his consortium to deliver a large shipment of fabrics, but in the end we received a better offer and had to turn him down. I understand his business is struggling, and so is ours. Another one of our most reliable trading partners agreed to transfer the goods for a much smaller commission. We have been fools to refuse. I felt terrible for withdrawing the offer, but you must understand, we simply had no choice. He tried to put on a brave face when I delivered the news, but his dejection and despair were plain as day. He said he discussed it with associates, but I could tell he had all but given up hope. Dejection and despair. Remember what we saw in Venispati, yes? Soldiers and jungle dwellers pushed to the very brink, turning into beasts one after the next. It would seem the same phenomenon occurred here. The poor craftsmen attacked by the fiends, as well as those who witnessed it, all undergoing the change. I suspect that everything began with Kazal, but all accounts, it was he who suffered from the most profound and piercing despair. Wait, could that be it? That such intense emotions is what triggered his transformation? Much remains unclear, but I believe we're drawn closer to an answer. At any rate, we must discuss our findings with the others. Alrighty. We were to reconvene with the others in front of Megaduda, were we not? That should be just outside. With any luck, they will have already returned from their own investigations. My friend, we must take our leave. I pray that your establishment is spared further tragedy, but remember, your lives are far more precious than any wares. If you order to flee, do so without hesitation. Indeed, I thank you for your concern. Pray you too take care as well. So I did pretty much nail it right in the head there. It seems to be this, like, pure despair seems to make people transform.
There you are. You've spoken with the survivors.
Indeed. We thought to share what we have gleaned, that we might together gain a greater understanding of present circumstances.
Fortuitous timing. Alize and I completed our own investigations not long ago.
Then we should take a moment to compare notes. Shall we begin with the two of you?
So the merchant Karzal was gravely concerned about his business in the days preceding his untimely end.
The tales we heard were much the same. The first victims to be changed into blasphemies were all overcome with anguish of one manner or another. Then those who saw their loved ones stolen before their eyes succumbed to a similar panic, setting in motion a chain of transformations.
Fear, unease, despair. These negative feelings serve as a catalyst.
If so, then it is not unlike the calamity that befell the ancients. With their creation magics, they unwittingly gave form to untold horrors. Had they simply lost control, surely it would have manifested in many forms, not all of them monstrous. Yet somehow, this phenomenon is triggered solely by the darkness in their hearts, a common thread with what we now witness.
Common, but not identical. While the beasts the ancients faced were forged with magic alone, those of today are born of sentient beings. Why remains to be seen. But there is one fundamental difference between us and our predecessors. Our souls are sundered, whereas theirs were not. Perhaps that single variable makes all the difference.
If I may, there was another detail that troubled me. We have it on good authority that Karzal's transformation took place before the skies began to burn.
What? If that's true, then the situation's more dire than we realized. It means even if there's no ominous sign presaging the final days, anyone, anywhere, has the potential to become a beast. Even in lands we thought safe, even as we speak.
Look! It's the satrap!
The satrap!
Thank the heavens!
My countrymen, I am relieved and heartened to see you strong and safe. While the danger has not yet passed, far from it, allow me to assure you that the beasts that raged within the city walls have been exterminated to the last. Outside this sanctuary, the brave men and women of the Radiant Host and our dragon ally continue to battle our unholy foes. I pray these tidings put your minds at ease and help you calm your hearts. Have faith that we shall soon conquer this terrible trial.
Your Excellency, is there any word from Palaka's stand? My grandson was bound for there yesterday, and I worry for his life.
We are still awaiting a report, but I promise you, as soon as I have aught to share...
Your Excellency, I bring grave news.
You are?
I'm Matsya of Akyali, a humble fisherman. Ah, I remember you from our first visit. Wait, you're... But no, that can wait. When the skies turned red, I set off for Palaka's stand, fearing for the safety of a friend. But as I drew near the village, I saw dreadful beasts all about.
No! Gods have mercy! Your Excellency! Save my grandson, I beg of you!
We will spare no effort to save all we can, but you must remain calm.
Calm? You tell me to be calm? You saw those beasts? They tore our bravest warriors limb from limb! What if we are too late, huh? They catch him, sink their fangs into him? The fangs! The screams!
Get away from her, now!
Kill them before it spreads.
We'll handle this. See the townspeople to safety.
Run! As fast as you can! Rise up.
Enough. You must run. For their sake and your own. Yes. You'll survive. You must.
Be strong, my friends! Fear not, for we will defeat these abominations! Brave men and women of the Radiant Host, lend your Stola and Thancred your aid. Let not a single beast escape. The rest of you, Flee this place! Carry the wounded if you must! Head indoors or underground! Above all, stay calm. No beast will follow you. We will see to that.
Alphino! Alice! Leave the city to us, and make for Palaka's stand at once! Matsya, show my friends to the village! I promise you, they're more capable than the host's finest!
Right!
Go with them, will you? We will save these people. As many as we can.
It's a bit unfortunate because I actually like the satrap. We must save Palaka's stand, whatever it takes. Matsya, it pains me to put you in harm's way, but I would ask your aid as well. Of course, Palaka's stand is not far, just down the hill. As I told His Excellency before, the path was blocked by terrible creatures. I had no choice but to turn back. In that case, this is what we shall do. Narn, I ask that you take the lead and dispatch any beast you encounter. Alice and I will keep Matsias hidden among the trees and follow when the path is clear. There's no telling what dangers await us. Keep your eyes peeled. I think this is probably a good stopping point for now. Let's see where we're heading exactly. I guess we are heading into the area that we hadn't been to yet. So that's nice at least.